On the eve of her state budget, Amma slams the Centre for the Rating Price Rise in the Nation, insists that rates of commodities be brought down. Amma's prescription, a combination of thermal, wind and solar energy to restore uninterrupted power supply in Tamil Nadu. The Tamil Nadu government says the amendment was necessary to remove defects deferring the uniform syllabus in the Supreme Court. After the post-mortem report and sustained interrogation, the slain Saukarpet businessman's relative is arrested and sent to jail. A top CBI officer takes over the investigation into the murder of law student Satish Kumar as 5 teams are on the job. Results of lie detector tests are awaited. Just as the DMK's Thiruvarur district secretary got bail in a land-grabbing case, he is arrested in another case for damaging public property. A 7-year-old schoolgirl has a miraculous escape as she touches an exposed high-tension wire running through a shop in Kandanchavadi. The yellow metal soars to a new record high at 2,421 rupees for 24 carat. Silver is not too far either. And they bear the name and the fame, but are franchise schools living up to the standards of their parent body? NDTV Hindu does a reality check. You've tuned into the late night news on NDTV Hindu with me, Evelyn Matthew. Let's also scan the national headlines for you. Yediyurappa loyalist Sadananda Gowda will be the next Chief Minister of Karnataka after BJP leaders vote in a secret ballot. The Karnataka governor has directed the Lokayukta to start criminal proceedings against Yediyurappa indicted in the illegal mining report. If growth means price rise, we don't want this growth. The BJP takes on the government on rising prices in the parliament. A below normal monsoon could hurt growth and raise inflation, warns the analysis by a financial services firm. Delhi's chief minister denies allegations after the CAG report blames her for overspending on streetlights during the Commonwealth Games. And Virat Kohli and Pragyan Ojha are called up instead of injured UV ahead of the third test at Edgbaston. On the eve of the much-awaited budget presentation in Tamil Nadu, the Chief Minister, Ms. J. Lalitha, has fired a salvo at the centre, holding it responsible for the price rise across the nation. She added that it was up to the centre to bring down the prices of commodities and thereby help the common man at a time when all essentials were out of reach because of its skyrocketing price tags.
It is the central government which is responsible for the rise of prices all over India. It is up to the central government to take appropriate action to bring down the prices of all commodities and help the common man.
But it will be interesting to see what features in the big announcement at the Assembly tomorrow when the state's Finance Minister O. Pannirselvam will present the revised budget for 2011-2012. Among other issues, the budget will detail how allocations are being carried out for fulfilling the poll promises made by the AIADMK regime. A clear explanation of the revenue generation measures is expected alongside several new bills, including ones for Arsu cable television. The abolition of land grabbing is also a key feature that we can look forward to. The opposition, mainly the DMK and the left parties, are likely to raise the heat on the government on the delay in implementation of the common syllabus system. Meanwhile, Amma is taking all efforts to restore a smooth supply of power to the state. Ms. Jayalalitha has urged for the setting up of new power plants to generate electricity using thermal, wind and solar energies. In fact, the Ministry of Coal has allocated a coal reserve in Chhattisgarh to Tamil Nadu so as to develop the mine, generate and even share the power. The share of coal produced from this mine of the Tamil Nadu Generation and Distribution Corporation Limited will be close to 592 million tons. There seems to be no consensus yet at the Supreme Court over the hearing of the uniform syllabus, a day after an angry lot of parents attacked the politics behind the implementation of the system in the state. A repeat of arguments were heard today. The Tamil Nadu government today argued that the amendment to the uniform system of school education was enacted to ensure full compliance of a judicial verdict and to undertake review of the syllabus and textbooks which were found wanting in quality and content. Senior Supreme Court lawyer P.P. Rao told the court that the object of the act was to bring in a school system common to all in the interest of social justice and quality education and not mere uniformity in syllabus. The NCERT also pointed out various deficiencies. Tamil Nadu's arguments will continue tomorrow and the apex court is likely to reserve verdict tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has also today reserved its verdict on the applicability of the Right to Education Act on unaided private schools. Under the Act, free and compulsory education is a fundamental right for children between 6 and 14 years, and even private schools have to reserve 25% for poor students. Now, this aspect was challenged by private schools in the Supreme Court, and they argued that the government couldn't interfere with private educational institutions as per the judgment. Minority institutions also challenged this provision and argued that it is against their fundamental rights. The centre argued that provision has been made for reimbursement of expenses by the private schools for admitting that 25% for school students. In fact, for the poor students, the centre has also told the court that a regulator will be appointed to address some of these grievances. Now, a day after the death of a businessman in Saukarpet sent shockwaves across the city, Ashish Sharma, the victim's nephew, who was also accused of the murder, was produced before the Georgetown court today and has been remanded to 15 days of judicial custody. This arrest comes as a development after a murder in the case was confirmed. The post-mortem report and a constant interrogation of the accused has now put him behind bars today. Staying with some crime-related news, the CBI today told the Madras High Court that DIG Sengathir had taken over the murder case of law student Satish Kumar. The top officer was present at the High Court today and told the court that the lie detector test of a suspected police inspector of the Thirumangalam police station was complete. The CBI officer also informed the court that the investigating agency was waiting for expert comments on the tests conducted. 5 teams are probing the case and are closing in on a breakthrough. The bench adjourned the case after 3 weeks for further hearing.
Satish Kumar is hearing for Justice P. Ashok Kumar and Justice Nagapan. Honorable Court heard both sides and adjourned this matter after 3 weeks. In the meantime, on behalf of CBI, Mr. Sengathir, the DIG of the CBI, also present in this court. He was directed to file report within 3 weeks.
Moving on to some news from the districts, the DMK's Thiruvarur District Secretary Pundi Kalaivanan is back behind bars. Just when the top functionary stepped out on bail in the case of a student's death, he was charged with damage to public property and causing public inconvenience and has been lodged at the Palayam Kotai jail. Police alleged that on Saturday, when DMK leader Stalin was detained by the police, Kalaivanan's men hurled stones on public buses and forced shops to shut for the day. He was earlier arrested on Saturday on charges of being involved in the death of a student in a bus accident during the protests. Plenty more news and updates still to come on the Late Night News. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.